Welcome back to another action figure review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Hiya Toys' Exquisite Mini Alien vs. Predator, the 1/18 scale Warrior Predator. This is a box that it comes in. Very nice window box. We're used to seeing most of the figure and the accessories are visible through the window box. The Hiya Toy logo there at the bottom. Very cool looking action figure. There's the top of the box as the AVP Alien vs. Predator logo. Bottom of the box is the same as the top. The side of the box has the AVP logo, the Hiya Toys logo at the bottom, and like a little half face shot of the Predator. On this side, we do have the Alien, a pretty cool AVP logo and Hiya Toy logo at the bottom. This is AVP Alien vs. Predator movie product. Back of the box, we have the AVP logo, the Exquisite Mini disclaimer that they claim that these are like Exquisite Minis. These are recommended for ages 15 and up. There is warning small choking hazards for anybody on the age of 3, so don't recommend you buy these for kids, but of course you can do what you want. But these are very adult collectible figures. They're very fragile, so I wouldn't recommend it. Social media information for Hiya Toys, Hiya Toy information there if you want to contact them for any reason. These are all rights reserved for 20th Century Fox, UPC there, which doesn't do you much. These aren't available in any store I know of in the United States, maybe a hobby store, but not where I live at. 2 product shots of the figure there at the bottom. Looks pretty cool. I like the blue in the back. It's awesome. So with that being said, let's go and take the Warrior Predator outside the packaging and see what he looks like. Here's a look at the backdrop inside the packaging. As removable, it is pretty cool if you're interested. Here's the figure in his clamshell. It's how it's packaging. All the accessories have its own little slot in the figure as well. Okay, here he is outside the packaging. Like I said, this is 1/18 scale. He's about 4 inches tall. Very nice. We have the gunmetal mask. I think the big features for this guy is the side of the mask. Here, the sculpt work for here on this side. That's a lot of the difference in this figure. You guys can see that or not. All sculpting in there. And it is on both sides. We do have a shoulder cannon done in gunmetal. We do have the individual dreads, which is incredible for this size of a figure. His shoulder loadout. Love the color they used for the overall final paint. He does still have that yellowish body with the black fishnet, bunch of straps throughout, some skulls throughout, also a necklace around his neck. Very cool. His eyes painted like a flat black. There's nothing up here on his shoulder. He does have a gauntlet here with 2 of those Predator claws we're used to seeing. Those are really cool. This side he does have a gunmetal soft plastic shoulder pad, a gauntlet here, probably for a med kit. With some skulls throughout here on the bottom. We have this piece down the center. We have some thigh pad here. Has a bronze strap around the leg. Is connected to this whole loincloth piece, so that's definitely going to hinder your articulation regardless of the overall aesthetics and that you can manipulate. Nice gunmetal on the back here, on the back side. We do have the piece up the back, like the spinal cord, some armor here on the back here also. Even though it's not on the front, they have armor on the back. Then it has that little piece here that you can connect something. It's just universal from the other Predators. You can put his extended staff on here, but not the closed one. Very cool. On the back of the boots or shin guards here, you can definitely tell it's some metal material. We have a knife sleeve with a knife inside. Loving the overall sculpt work in the paint on these guys. That silver gunmetal color looks amazing. See my best if I can get it to come out and through the camera so you guys can appreciate it. And maybe you guys might want to pick one up for yourself. You see all the sculpt work throughout. It's a mask. Very cool. Those dreads are awesome. The loadout. Shoulder cannon here. It is articulated, so we'll be taking a look at that also. I mean, he got some killer abs. Some of these skulls hanging throughout. Very cool. It's the bottom of his feet. So I get you guys a bunch of angles so you can really get a good look at this figure. And I mean, that's really cool. I love that piece on the spinal cord there. Looks really nice. And you can see the little tears here that you can manipulate in his loincloth. It's pretty cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and start taking a look at his articulation. Okay, the head does rotate back and forth. There's a lot of hindrance with the head. It is on a ball joint though. It can turn to the degree, but you got a lot going on here. You got this load out here. You got all these dreads that's going to get caught up, as you can see. But you can turn it, pretty good. It's going to push down on the cannon a little bit, side to side. See how the dreads just knocked the cannon out of the way. So it's really not the overall too much of the figure. It's all these individual dreads, which you can't really complain about that because that's just killer. That's a killer look. There's not much at all up and down, or there's a little side to side. For the shoulder cannon, there's articulation. This thing does rotate 360 on its base all the way around. So with that being said, there is a down just below the base here. There's a down and up. And then you got a little articulation here. You can see how that bends. And then you have articulation right there. There's a lot going on there. That's really cool for a little small piece. Now for the arms, you're going to have to heat this guy up when you get it. He's pretty well factory stiff. Show you a couple of things. I went ahead and heated up a little bit, not fully. I got to do it a couple of times. I get it in good gentle play working. So, but you can raise his arms up. This is a good example for this figure. About that much on both sides. And you can see here, this is their problem. I don't understand why they're still doing this. They paint their figures and they paint their joints. So if you want to know why your figures are stuck, right there's why. It looks like because I've heated this up, got rid of some of that paint in the joint, clean that out. They use clear plastic on this figure. As you can see the piece of paint right there. I think it just came out. So that's why you have to heat your joints. Because if you don't, they're paint stuck and you will possibly, very highly possibly break them. So the arms go out that much. You can see if you take the extra work, you can get these figures to play a general play, in my opinion. But of course, you can do what you want. There is a upper bicep rotation 360. You can hear it creaking. I'm still working on it, but it's a 360 rotation. You do get, this is a 360 rotation, this ball also. If you can get that to work. You do get a bendable elbow, gets you about that much. The hand rotates 360. There's no other joint, it's on a ball, it kind of goes like this. And then you have the claws here, which are extendable to a degree. Very nice. So, there is articulation here in the chest, like in the diaphragm, but it's it's hindered a lot by all this straps and stuff too. So it's there. You can get a good rocking wedge. Had to heat that up too, so you know. So I'm still working on this figure. It takes a little bit to get it because of the paint. She stopped painting her figures and move on to a different aesthetic. But these are really cool though, regardless. We do have rotation of waist. I'm not sure if it's a 360, and it probably is, but I think what's happening here is because of this strap is attached to the leg, you're not going to be able to turn it because of that. So the overall legs, you're going to split about that much. You have a lot going on here with that loincloth, and then of course this strap is attached to this piece, which is attached to this piece, and it's not going to let you go any further. You can get back and forth. You guys can hear that creaking. Be careful with that. He does double jointed knees, which is not a problem. See how that piece comes, the whole leg pretty much is a joint that comes out. See how long that joint is right there? It goes down inside there. So they do bend double jointed. Now for the feet, there's a joint there. They can rotate, but for this overall stick, there's these spikes here on the back, and on the other side. So the joint's there, but you can't utilize it because this gauntlet hits this spike. And then if you try to rotate it, you can rotate a little bit, but the way that's cut, it gets in the way. And you might be able to pivot down, but that spike's not going to let you. You're just either going to smash that spike or break it off. So I don't recommend that. So it's just a, it's a trade-off for articulation versus aesthetic. Is there a way to make it have both? Sure there is, but for $20 anymore, these are $19.99. You're probably not going to, you'll be paying more for the figure. I'm surprised that with these being hand painted, they don't cost more. I thought maybe they'd be more into the $25, $30 range, but they're still around $19.99 since they started releasing the Predator figures, which is a good thing. Since they've started with the Predator figures, they've definitely come out with better elbows and better knees. You can see they're thick now. And the elbows have like a soft ratcheting two-piece system, which I've displayed in other videos. So, but the problem childs are now are the shoulders and the legs. So, not sure how many more figures they're going to be putting out as Predators, because I see they're moving into some other lines now, which is a good thing. So hopefully we get some improvement on the overall quality of figures. But nonetheless, if you do collect these are pretty sweet. So you just take a little bit of care. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. You do get this stand that you can connect to all the other figures that you get in your hot toy figures, regardless if it's Predator, Alien, Colonial Marines, Injustice, Robocop. They pretty much all fit the same. So that's pretty cool. And to connect the stands together, you just use these little H, I, or whatever, depending how you hold it, brackets here. And you just connect here just by pressing them into the sides or top. You can see that there's these cuts here, cuts on the side. And sometimes I don't understand why these tolerances are different. Holy moly, can't even get that one in there. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time on it. You just got to get it to fit. That was really, really tight, so I'll have to try that later. Here comes an extra set of hands. You have an open hand. And more of a gripping hand. Very cool. Comes with his throwing weapon. It's like a gunmetal color. Pretty cool. A little fragile, so be careful, don't break those off. Then we have the closed staff. There's a lot of sculpt work going on that. Try to use the white background so you can see that. That's pretty cool. Some copper on the handle there. Very nice. And then we have the extended version here. Pretty cool. And if you want to see a comparison, here's the closed version. And that clip on the back of the figure, you can't use this piece because the diameter right here is too big. Even here. You have to pretty much put it on this piece here if you want this on his back. So you have to get his hair out of the way here. And then you can see that diameter is way too big for that. You can break that clip off, but you can put his extended, I should say, on the back of there. I think when they designed that, that's more or less for those trophy display things that came out with. They had the skulls, and the human skulls, and then they had the alien head in one of the other figures. It wasn't really meant to be for his weapons, I think, because you can stand them up and they would look like they're, displaying their kills. So, necessarily the thought process probably wasn't this at the time. So, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Really cool figure. Like I said, these retail for like $19.99. Final thoughts. Guys, I've been supporting the brand. I do love the 1/18 scale. My favorites. And the have a 1/18 scale collection of Predators. You really can't get it anywhere else. So it's like it's either this or nothing. And these ain't bad enough to say nothing. So, they take a little extra work. If you're a collector and you kind of get the idea, I don't anymore, even with some of the top brands, you still sometimes got to heat up those joints. I think I've seen almost every company recommend it, even Hasbro down to Boss Fight Studios, when removing parts and stuff. But Joy Toy also, very cool. But if you just pick them up, just know that you might have to heat them up a little bit, take a little extra care and time into them, protect your investment. So, really cool. I wouldn't recommend using hot water. I hear that a lot. I don't think that's the right thing to do because you warp your plastic, your paint will run, and you damage your figure, you warp it. Light hair dryer, take your time. If you have to do it a couple of times, is the best method. Oh yeah, I didn't forget to show you guys the knife on his leg. It's removable. See that? That's really cool. It's actually two blades that just comes together at the top, so you can't separate them. Pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I recommend these figures. They're not perfect. They take a little extra care, extra work, but it is what it is, I guess. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review for the Warrior Predator. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me. That'll help us out. Don't forget to comment down below. Share the video with all your friends, fellow collectors if you want to. Whoever you would like. Really appreciate that. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next review.